Hello and welcome back to This or That. Week 9, our final week of the regular season. Let's finish strong.
We made it, man. We made it.
All right, let's jump right into it. We got 9 slides today.
9 for week 9.
9. Lost streak, bad slump, or they've been solved?
Ooh. I'm going to go bad slump. Solving Cloud9 feels like a weird statement considering how many different things Cloud9 has tried, right? If Cloud9 kept doing the same thing and getting beat, I'd say, okay, Cloud9 is solved. But it almost feels like in some cases Cloud9's beating themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, they're making a lot of mistakes themselves. Their setups for team fights, they're a little bit late getting to them. And then even the execution within those team fights, they've also been messing up. So it's been some mistakes from the Cloud9 side. So that makes me want to go with the first one rather than the solution. It's not like some clean thing that's been figured out here.
Right, exactly. I mean, I think other teams are getting better, but I think the loss streak is more to do with Cloud9 slumping.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, what do we got? All-Pro first team AD carry.
Whoa.
Getting spicy here. Now, we made a big case in the last 2 weeks for FBI.
Yeah.
Shooting up the standings here, and he has been really good. But going up against Tactical and Sven.
I'm going to pull Tactical out of the conversation, for myself at least. I'm going to pull him out of the conversation because I just don't think that he isn't the reason.
I don't think you have to explain that one.
Okay, thank you for letting me move right past that. Yeah, there's a really strong case for FBI, particularly because of his laning stats and the fact that, Golden Guardians has more recently been shooting up the standings, and I think it is largely to do with the consistency that he has shown us across the split, right? Golden Guardians has more lived or died by the performance of their jungle and their mid laner, whereas their AD carry's always been consistent. Sven, though, I just don't know how do you take the mantle of best AD carry from Sven just based on Spring? Maybe I'm too biased by Spring. What about you, Kobe?
I think you are a little bit too biased by Spring. It's a really close conversation. I've been trying to hype up the Golden Guardians bottom lane as a duo with who he also making a lot of plays, especially with sets. But right now, there's no big standout first team AD carry to me. That's why Tactical is in here also, because you're like, okay, he's also been doing really well, but Core JJ has returned to like all-star form and is doing a lot in that regard. And it's not like you can point to Double Lift either as being like completely dominating everybody. So this is definitely a difficult one. I am gonna go still with Sven because of the. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm switching it up. You know what? I'm getting on the new train.
Yes.
Get FBI in there. He's been actually dominating all of the stats, and he's a huge part of the wins for Golden Guardians.
I'm with you. We're going with the other thing here. It's aspirational. Look, Cloud9 is 2-5 on the back half of the split. All right. Yeah. So unless they really turn it around and crush through a 2-0 week here and Sven steps up, okay, maybe I'll bring him back in the conversation. But I'm with you. Right now, FBI has only improved for me throughout the year, and so heading into the last week of the split, I think I'm going to give him a slight edge.
This one's making me sweat about my votes at the end of the year too.
These are gonna be hard votes this year.
These ones and Double Lift floating around. All right, next slide. Let's get out of here. Kennen top. Good pick or overrated?
Good pick if you're a good player.
I think the blind Kennen should stop. I think blind pick makes it super overrated. I do think that it is a very good pick though, if you don't have to blind it especially. And a lot of teams, especially Red Side, can save their last pick for their top laners.
Yeah, I'm with you that it is still a valuable pick in certain cases. More than anything though, I want to see players choose a build path and a play style for Kennen and then stick to that. I don't want to see this start building 1v1 oriented Kennen, side lane Kennen, and then attempt to go team fight.
You don't want to do it all?
No, there's too many times we've seen a Kennen go into lane, start building one way, and then realize midway through the game, oh, we can't win in that fashion, so now I have to start doing this other thing, and I haven't built myself up to be effective in that way. So I guess I would agree with you. It's maybe a little more overrated. I think there's still a place for it. But I think if people think it should be blind picked, how do you say that? Blound picked? If people think it should be blind picked, is that really what it is? Because you get blound. Anyway,
you're blinded.
People who think it should get blind picked, they're rating it too highly. It is overrated. All right, let's move on. I don't want to say words anymore.
This is the best thing to come out of this morning. I didn't even get to answer that slide because James was so embarrassed. He was just Bloundfunded.
My face is so red right now. This is obnoxious. Okay.
It's okay. This is the first show that we do in the morning that we got it. This is the one that gets the brain flowing.
Right. Yeah.
I'll go with it's still a good pick because I like the LCK style where they just build full AP. The most fun to watch is just big AoE lightning storms coming through. More likely outcome for Cloud9 though, a 0-2. There is actually no way.
No way.
I looked at their schedule last week when I was trying to do predictions, and I just remember it being easy. I don't remember the exact teams. Or Counter Logic Gaming going 2-0. What do you think, James? I'm gonna look these up.
I think it's which is more likely. I mean, they're both impossible. So like, which one?
Cloud9 I don't know. CLG. Cloud9 is playing CLG
and Dig.
And Dig, like that is free.
They're not
CLG
going up
are playing FlyQuest and Cloud9. That is not free. I'm gonna say the more likely is the CLG one, which would involve Cloud9 getting a loss. But this Cloud9 0-2 would also require that CLG requirement and them to lose the Dig.
Yeah, neither's going to happen. Let's be very clear. Neither of these things is actually going to happen. But if we are to choose most likely, I'm with you, Kobe. It's CLG. I just don't see C9 dropping 2 more games to end the split.
Yeah. All right. Next slide. TREATZ'S 4-game deathless streak. Is it a product of their wins or the reason for their wins? I think he has been really good. So I think it is way more on the side of the reasons for their wins.
I would go that way as well. I think it would be disingenuous to take the only change a team has made to then improve their record and say he wasn't in some part, a piece of that change, that effect. Obviously when you're winning, you're gonna die less, but I'm with you. What sticks out in my brain is his Leona game, that very first Leona game where he showed
2v2 kill in lane.
Exactly, an incredible amount of aggression. And I think if he is showing that he can generate kills and advantages, then he is a reason for the victories. If he was being dragged along to all the wins, okay, fine. But I'm going with that. He has been more the reason for their wins. Yeah.
For sure. Next slide. Ban one Caitlyn or Morgana. That's easy for me. You ban Caitlyn. Unless your team is really destroyed by Black Shield in some way. You have some low magic damage and lots of CC, so you can't break the shield. Caitlyn with the buffs, she just shot up like a rocket. It's actually insane right now how she jumped up to tier 1 so quickly.
I'm with you anytime. So that's funny. You write it as as a team, which would I ban? I looked at it as if I could just ban one from the LCS, which one would I ban? My answer is still the same. I would ban Caitlyn because I agree with you. When she is the top tier ADC, she becomes so oppressive to other AD carries because of her range in a lot of cases, and she can be good with so many other supports. Morgana, I feel like there are ways to play around that champion, right? She is very strong. She's an effective lane bully. Black Shield is obviously a super impactful spell. But I think there are ways to play around a Morgana, more so than there are ways to play around just the best AD carry in the game at the moment. So I would say ban Caitlyn.
It's like Morgana's greatest lane is with Caitlyn because you can get the binding traps. So if you don't have the Caitlyn, then you're like, okay, whatever.
Caitlyn can lane with anybody.
Caitlyn Thresh? All right, we're good to go as well. Next slide.
Exactly.
Most improved.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Huhi. In spring, I was all aboard the Ryoma train. I was super proud of the improvement he had made for how young of a player he was, and that it was all, that was aligning with 100 Thieves' plans for him. But Huhi in summer, I think, has really stepped up. We were given some, a tip of the cap to FBI. I think the same thing has to be done for Huhi because the two of them together have leveled up in an incredible way. And I think he's been a big product or a big reason why a number of their wins have come in, and they're looking at possibly the best split ever for Golden Guardians.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit champion specific with Huhi. Like his set games have been the ones that were real eye openers for me, especially one at the beginning of the season. Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic for him to prove on more of the champions because he definitely has a good eye for playmaking. But I will give him.
Oh, go ahead.
I will give him the most improved right now, but I'm still going to be, Hawkeye on that the champion pool.
And it makes you wonder how much more improved he would be if he was their starter all year long in 2020. Because remember that.
If they didn't go through all the experiments with the support position.
Exactly.
Let's get it to the next slide. Evil Geniuses do or die game. Bring back Jizuke and Kumo or keep in Golden Glue and Huni. We had a slide when they initially made this switch. Which combination we liked better, which sandwich was going to be more delicious. And I believe we both said the Huni Golden Glue was more delicious.
I need that sandwich for sure. Which one though for a do or die game?
See, the problem is they're both champion specific as well. We were just talking about it. Now, Jizuke, very clearly champion specific player. Huni as well, though, with the Rumble and the Gangplank. You see his Camille game? Oh my goodness, the flanks that he just gets soloed by Oriana. There's been a lot of poor EG games that have been really highlighted by both of those solo laners champions.
Yeah, I figured it out. So if we're starting a series, we're going to play Huni and Golden Glue. I think the consistency out of Golden Glue in the mid lane is a little bit more what I want to kick off a series and find our footing. And Huni, you kind of let him be aggressive, look for plays. Maybe he really just hard carries the game and gets you rolling towards your 3-game victory. But if it's a do or die game, the final game to make or break the series, you bring back Jizuke and Kumo. You totally flip the map. Right? So throw a curveball at your opponents to say we were once trying to carry from the top, now we're trying to carry from the mid. And you give Jizuke just full reign to go ham. Say, dude, either finish the game 0-9 or 9-0 and just let him go and see what happens.
Yeah, honestly, I'm bringing them back just because, I thought Kumo was doing pretty well. And, got a little bit rough end of the deal there, so give him another chance.
Arguably with more tanks available too. I was just gonna say like Shen, Sion, maybe Kumo is more suited to the meta.
True. And we're not, it doesn't say playoffs because playoffs patch is going to be where they buff Jackson, Fiora.
Right. And then you want Huni back in. Get Huni back in.
Next slide.
All right.
Harder to kill Bjergsen, Zilean, or the Infinity Gauntlet. Thanos.
Can't kill the Zilean, man. Especially the Bjergsen.
Yes, Bjergsen Zilean is going to revive probably 3 people in a team fight. Thanos maybe once. So I actually am going to give it over to Bjergsen. You see that the team fight, he actually comes back on the teleport, but before the team fight even finished, and he's still rewinding time.
100% it goes to Bjergsen. Look at that man. Look at that death glare. Okay, he is unfazed. You cannot even get a rise out of him. Whereas Thanos, he's got anger issues, all that kind of stuff. No, Bjergsen, way harder to kill. Plus, like you said, he's going to be saving his teammates all throughout. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, there was a big cliffhanger when we're like, oh my goodness, Infinity will, everybody's gone. Are they going to win? And now that we know already the end of the story, we're like, whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't that difficult, turns out.
All right, well, super excited for week 9. We're getting into the end of the LCS, end of the regular season. Tune in this weekend to check it out, see how the playoff race ends.